First off, at the top of the stream, I would just like to mention, sorry that I didn't get this live reaction video out last night. I had a personal matter that I had to deal with. It was actually going on while I was watching this movie, so I just had to attend to it once I got home, and by the time everything was said and done, it was like already 11 o'clock. I'm like, all right, I'll just handle this in the morning. So, here is your Iron Lung AfterShock. Apparently, history repeats itself. During my precaution, I mentioned how last year we had another survival horror film adaptation by the name of Until Dawn. We also had this low-budget movie called Ash with Isa Gonzalez. It was this like heady, ambiguous sci-fi horror film. Well, Iron Lung is a sci-fi horror video game adaptation, and it sucked. Oh man, look, hey, Markiplier, I love you, man. Great entertainer. I'm happy for your success. I appreciate that you wanted to take on the challenge, I assume, of adapting this story, this video game. I'm grateful that you would want to tap into survival horror for your debut writing, acting, and directing. However, this was just a no-go. I mean, I hung with the film for the first half, and once I started to notice like it begin to slip and dip, and I'm saying to myself, okay, the pacing at the very least and the acting for the first half were good. So I'm saying, you know, the third half. I'm sorry, not the third half. The third act is where things take a nosedive. So at the very least, this would be a competently made film. But what I believe was a final act became a final half of the film. And the drudgery of it just became way too much to deal with. Oh man, I'm there. I'm starting to feel like I was the one trapped in that submersible. So I've said forever and a day, if you're going to do a single location film, you have no choice but to bring your A game. It is incumbent upon you to hold fan interest for your runtime, keep the momentum, get the absolute most out of your character or list of characters, and absolutely the most out of your location. Phone Booth with Colin Farrell was able to do it. The Cube from 1997 was able to do it. Both Nights of the Living Dead did it. Iron Lung didn't. And, oh man, like, I don't mean to be crass, but over 2 hours, you feel every ass-pounding nanosecond. I mean, I thought it strange when people complained when films were 2 hours long, because I'm over here saying to myself, well, shouldn't that be the standard? Well, Iron Lung answers that question. No. Emphatically, a profound no. Oof, this was rough. I'm not even gonna lie. I stated that I'd never played the game it's based on. So, I mean, y'all tell me if the interactive version is this boring. For a premise and a film that didn't have much in the tank, pun intended, it runs out of steam pretty quickly. I mean, the maintenance of the vessel, creaks in the hull, sparks flying off of wires, and the lights going out, all of that was expected. But it's not enough of a plot to hold fan interest. Now, as I was writing the description for this video, another thing popped into my mind. Film fans don't like it when the trailer spoils everything, but when the trailer encapsulates everything that you're going to see out of the movie, that equally can be frustrating. Like, yeah, everything you see in the trailer, pretty much with rare exception, is what you're going to get out of this movie. And like, I can't even say that there are any spoilers, because what does it really spoil when there isn't much of a story here? I mean, my God. I was pleasantly surprised when talk of what crimes Markiplier's felon was guilty of, as well as discussion around this quiet rapture where all light in the universe and life had seemingly disappeared, which is why this mission, this search for life form, seemed necessary. So I'm saying to myself, all right, we have something going on. I wasn't expecting in the movie to know or to be informed of the backstory of Markiplier's character, as well as, okay, you can just like to say something as impactful as all the light in the universe just magically going out, all life dissipating. It's like you run, especially you're now on a mission on a foreign moon that's an ocean of blood. Like, you run the risk of that being way too expository. You know what I mean? It's just way too. I don't want to even say show don't tell, but it's just too, okay, what started all this? Like, what? Like, that's a pretty profound thing. An entire ocean of blood. Like, where did that come from? All stars seemingly vanish or exploded, and now planets, seemingly including Earth, have been. It's like an extinction level event where all life has like just reached the brink of collapse. That, again, on top of being expository, it's like, I don't know, those are kind of major events that just gloss over, you know what I mean? So when we start getting some level of backstory for who Markiplier is supposed to be playing, as well as what it is that's going on in this scenario that we find ourselves dropped into, I'm saying to myself, okay, this could be interesting. And, you know, some character and plot development, except those ingredients are pretty fleeting and they don't go anywhere in a story that has too much time to kill. The best that I can say about this movie is that it is well acted by Markiplier, and it does have good direction. There are moments behind the character where you can see there is condensation forming on wires, and that dripping visual always makes for good tension. But again, you would hope that there would be other things to complement just good direction and good acting with. You know what I mean? It's not, a movie isn't one thing or another. So when you don't have when you are completely absent a solid plot, you really need these moments to drive intrigue from character and its location, and this film doesn't have any of that. I cannot overstress how important it is to have an interesting environment, say something interesting about it, because it's like, if we're going to be confined with our character who's supposed to be our vessel, pun unintended, if he's supposed to be our entry point into the film, his surroundings, you really need to be able to do something out of. And they do have moments where he's finding like clues here and there, notes that potentially other people who had been in this submersible had left for him. I don't know. To me, I didn't find it particularly interesting, you know? I got the sensation that, okay, maybe this could be something of an escape room type setup where there are clues left around for him and he's discovering things that may have been in plain sight. No, none of that. And I mean, man, It went from a decently paced first half to an utter slog to sit through for the second half. I mean, and the question really needs to be asked, who honestly thought that they could pull this off at 127 minutes, dude? You feel every bit of those last few seconds of this movie. No, I'm sorry, last half of this movie. You feel every second of it. I mean, and the very end just sees like a bombardment of hallucinations, distorted camera visuals, yelling, spooky voices, and honestly, it just fell flat. Like the movie had just lost me by this point in boredom. In boredom, not because there was such this intricate plot that it was hard to follow. No, I wish that it was that. I don't believe in slow burn. It's an overused cop-out of a phrase that attempts to run damage control for weak characters and a boring story. All the loud noises and things going off the rails by the end, excuse me, sorry, it attempts to compensate for its going nowhere narrative of the last half. And man, when I had checked out, and I had checked out an hour previously, so by the time it attempts to ramp things up and go, haywire, it's just nah, man, too little, too late. And again, like an hour, the last hour, I'm here tapping out. I'm like, this movie needs to wrap up immediately. And it's bad when a film bumbles along at a snail's pace where you're begging for a fire drill in the theater I'm talking about, or a sign that reads wrap it up. Then I would have gotten my money's worth. But yeah, I mean, just to give you an idea of like the lengths that they go to try to drum up some kind of like last minute excitement. By the end is when the attempt is made of body horror, and again, I just could not care, man. And again, it's strange because he's asking questions and trying to figure things out where it becomes, because he's speaking to someone over the intercom, like his handlers or whatever, and it's obvious that he doesn't really know how to operate this submersible. It'd be one thing if he's just a convict going down into this blood ocean to collect samples, but he knows how to use a submersible. No, he's asking all these questions and he's looking through manuals about what to do if anything goes wrong, but it's like, okay, you have to question the logic here, where if this was an all-important mission, survival of humanity and all that, why don't you prep this guy? Like, he literally, one of the questions that he asks when he's in the submersible at the very beginning is something to the effect of, what am I doing here? Or something along those lines. He asks a question about his mission. It's like, I don't know. Story, isn't that something that you hash out beforehand? I'm really getting tired of that. I'm seeing that in like that trope of, and that trope of the protagonist only asking what they're doing on a mission once the mission starts. It's like, I've seen that in Prometheus. I've seen that. I think they had that in Alien Earth. I've seen that cliche in other sci-fi horror, and it's just getting repetitive now. It's a lazy way of using your protagonist to serve as the entry point for your audience, but basically it's just a lame excuse to, plug in some exposition instead of explaining what the story is in a more inventive way. So, yeah, and again, it is well acted by Markiplier. I'll give him that, but man, it really is just a convict in a submersible, just traipsing around a blood ocean, taking pictures, finding something there's hallucinations and hints of some type of monster that's able to communicate with this convict, and it's just not interesting. It's not interesting. And oh my god, the fact that it's so long, 2 hours and 7 minutes, is a big ask when you got nothing going on, man. The fact that you don't see outside of the submersible, the fact that it's practically a one person cast. I mean, if I appreciate someone wanting to take up this challenge, but at the same time, that gratitude can only take you so far, and you really got to be able to deliver. This film really didn't. So this was, and again, I went into this movie, and hey, shout out to Markiplier, because my theater was packed, and I can't remember like even recent superhero movies. I can't remember the last time that I've gone to watch any movie and the theater it's a packed house. And I'm saying, and the fact that they were mostly young kids there, like the people who sat next to me were a father and his daughters, and I'm saying to myself, wow, this. And even when the movie started, she goes, "Go Marky Mark." Really? Mind you, these were young kids, but anyway. Yeah, it really goes out to the popularity of Markiplier. So shout out to him in that regard. But while watching this movie, I'm saying to myself, geez, people were given Return to Silent Hill crap. And look, I think that I was fair in my reaction video that I did, my Return to Silent Hill AfterShock that I did after watching that film. I felt that I was fair in what it was that I thought that the director brought to the film in terms of positives and also the negatives, the storytelling, the characterization. So, but yeah, it's funny to me how so many people giving Christoph Gans, the director of Return to Silent Hill, grief, and yet I saw one. I didn't read their review. One person gave Iron Lung an 8 out of 10. I'm like, ooh, that's generous. So it just so happens that I didn't even realize, but Iron Lung marks the halfway point to a number of, or a weekly visit for me to go to the theaters. I didn't even realize that, starting with the Bone Temple, the 28 years later, we would have the Bone Temple, followed by Return to Silent Hill. This week is Iron Lung. Next week is going to be Whistle, the Daphne Keane story. And then the week after that is going to be Gale, Yellow Brick Road. So that at least gives me an excuse to go back to the theaters. I will check if any theater is going to be playing these upcoming movies, these next two movies that I have down the pipe to watch and also do my precautions and AfterShock videos. So I will see if any of these films will be played at drive-in theaters. Oh man, I have been itching to do a watch or a preview AfterShock at one of these theaters. So I'll take a look if that's in the cards. If not, I'll see if that's something more of a summer thing. But regardless, this has been my AfterShock for Iron Lung, and man, I hate to take the wind out of anybody's sails, but avoid this one at all costs. I do invite all of you fine folks to take a gander at the videos that I have done. As I've mentioned recently, I have done precautions and AfterShocks for not just Iron Lung, but the 28 Years Later sequel, the Bone Temple, as well as Return to Silent Hill, which I would invite you all to take a look at. And please take a look at my Silent Hill 20th Anniversary Watch Party. I also did reaction videos to the Return to Silent Hill behind the scenes, as well as the Resident Evil 9 Requiem Showcase. Therefore, I've been incarnate, reminding you, I ain't just a big deal, I'm the real deal.
If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.